Alright guys, jumping right back into League for Dark Matter and Return Sphere. We're in round 4 this time. Got the Guado Glories going against the Ronso Fangs. We are taking on the Kilka Beasts, and the Albed Sykes are taking on the Luca Goers. So we've done really well so far in the league. I mean, last game we scored something like 9 points. We are certainly crushing the opposing team, so I don't expect that to slow down. But we'll see. We're going to be trying to do the same thing as well as the last few games, if you guys saw those. What we're doing is we're just passing to Gira Guado, and we're having Gira just shoot a bunch of goals. Looks like starting out, though, Mep with the ball, going to push midfield. He has to deal with around like 54 attack from Nav Guado, and then 82 block, as you see, so that's not going to work out for him. So we're going to push left side here, and we're just trying to set up Gira Guado for a shot. That's the main thing we're looking for here. We're going to pass to Gira. So Gira receives, and then we can set up for ideally a goal here. We'll see. I mean, we have 68 shoot against 40 catch. It's looking pretty positive for us, and we're going to go up 1-0. This is exactly what we did against the Ronso Fangs last time, and they just could not get a solution for it. They just kind of hung out and watched us do it over and over and over, and after a while you're like, dude, like, are you gonna stop us? Like, are you gonna do anything to cease our forward advance? Looks like Mep, though, immediately going for the shot here. Definitely not a great idea. It's funny because this would actually be pretty good if we had Nav Guado in the goal and we had Noi in the field like we normally do when we're leveling up Noi Guado. Because if we had that situation, I mean, Nav Guado's awful as a goalie. He's actually exceptionally bad compared to everyone else. Like, most people's average catch, I believe, is around 20, and Nav is even below that. So if he gets shot on from any point in the sphere pool by someone who could maybe make a goal, there's an actual realistic threat that he's going to get scored on. Yeah, we're going to pass to Zazzy. Zazzy's a little bit more open. Hey, when you get the invisible shot off. I mentioned last game we might try to shoot with Zazzy if we have the opportunity, because he's a little bit behind in levels and experience as when compared to Gira Guado. So we're not super heartbroken about the fact that we have to shoot with Zazzy. In all honesty, it's actually pretty good. So we kind of accept it as a necessary thing we may have to do. Yeah, Mep gonna go for the pass, we go for the block, and I mean, rinse and repeat time and time again. It's something that they never learn from, and we will continue to abuse as long as it works. Our speed is our greatest asset with our players. It's so good and so effective in so many different ways. You know, it's like the defining characteristic of the Guado Glories that really doesn't like wear out over time. Like, you think about the Ronso Fangs as a team, right? And they have like some traits that make them the Ronso Fangs. They're pretty slow, they have pretty good HP, and they have pretty good endurance. But those effects essentially wear out. All of them except the speed. And speed's the one thing that seems to remain constant amongst teams. And it's what makes the Guado Glories very good, and it's what makes the Ronso Fangs not so good. You could probably point to outliers, though. Like, you think about Nav Guado particularly. I think he starts with 54 speed. So he levels up his speed and becomes the fastest player on the team, actually. So there are exceptions to the rule, but in general, the speed doesn't increase or decrease on the team. And I think for the Ronso Fangs, it never changes. I think it might change by like 1 or 2 values, but like it's not like they go from 40 speed to 60. Like, they go from like 40 to 41. Like, it's definitely not an impactful change. And then when you think about Keepa, now I'm just on like the stat like manual in my head. But you think about Keepa actually gets slower, like randomly. He's a goalie. It doesn't even really affect anything, but he goes from 54 speed to 53, I think. For some reason in my head, I'm thinking 53 was the main factor on a lot of players. Because I know I know now Guado's pretty slow. He's either got 54 or 58 speed when he starts out, and then I think Keep has 54 speed, goes 53. It's interesting how that kind of goes across the realm of Blitzball. But yeah, a little bit of experience for our team, no level ups, but it's kind of what we expect. This is more of like a showcase round, or I guess showcase league, I should say, where we're just showing how effective our team can be. And the main things we should highlight here, because I feel like I should start highlighting this since we are nearing the end of the series, how we interact with the pressure we get. Oftentimes, like when our forwards get pressured, their most valuable asset, because they don't have the tackle slip, or at least Gira doesn't, is the pass. And their pass is actually incredibly high. Like when you think about forwards, you don't generally think like, oh, they've got pretty good pass, but our forwards are kind of the outliers there. Like I'll pass to Gira here, and of course we will have to shoot it because we've got that opportunity. But look at that, he's got 71 pass. That's insane. That is very, very good for a forward. That's very good. So I think that's something on our team that's fairly unique when compared to other teams. You look at the Besato Rocks and stuff, I don't think Titus or Dotto ever get more than 30 pass. Maybe Titus? I don't know about Waka, but it's definitely something that you wouldn't normally see on a team. And that actually normally makes sense, because you have like your forwards, and generally they get the ball and then they shoot the ball. Like it's not rocket science. It's not like, you know, what are you gonna do? But generally they get the ball, they shoot the ball, and then the game's like, that's it. We've had a good time, we're moving on. But the big thing with our forwards here is because they have those nap techniques, and because they have those like abilities, we can actually pass to Gira and to Zazzy and pass back and forth, and we can inflict status effects on the opposing team in an offensive way. So that's what makes the fact that they have a high pass so beneficial, because they can use it as an aggressive tactic. They can wither, they can venom, they can sleep. They've got, you know, the trifecta of options. In general, like personally, I prefer to just use sleep. I think it's really effective, and I know it's like a one-shot thing. Like when you score, everyone resets. It makes sense, but I still think sleep is just it's completely shuts someone out of the game. It's very, very strong. I am thinking about next week using like Pile Wither and Pile Venom and trying to switch it up a little bit, because I know I have that crutch of I'm always using sleep and I'm always using nap, and I think for some reason, I don't know why, but I always attribute I'm poisoned, I didn't even think about it, that's my fault. I always contribute the kill Kabis with poison techniques and stuff. And I think, like, in my head, the reason I think that is because of the Ochu. It's like what you encounter there. Like, you see the Ochu, and then it's like a poison fiend, and you kind of just fight it. And that's probably why my head goes there. But it's always a little bit odd. And then the Guado, I always contribute sleep and wither and stuff. I don't know why it always goes that way. I should probably look at starting techniques, because there's probably something in my head where like they probably have some sort of starting techniques. I also attribute Letty with poison now, but I think he starts with Venom Pass, so that makes sense. Like I feel like there's these base traits, like from like this is now becoming like a therapy session, but like from my childhood that I recall. And I don't remember when I made those connections and when I was like, yeah, like Letty's the poison dude, but I guess I did. But yeah, we'll try to use a more varied strategy with Kill Kabis. Just for fun. Like, I think it'll be a good time. I don't know who can learn Pile Venom and Pile Wither and stuff, so I'm not really... We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, there's no Pile Nap. Because it's supposed to add to the effects of the initial stat you inflicted on, like you can do more with Wither. You can poison for longer, poison for a larger amount, and you can stack those effects, but you can't stack sleep. You're either asleep or you are awake. So like that's why there's no pile map. And in all honesty, I'm gonna get rid of my Blitzball cred here. I really haven't used the pile stats or techniques very much at all. I think I used pile venom a little bit before, but I've never really used them. Yeah, map levels up. I know 1,000 games of Blitzball and I've never really used pile techniques in my strategy. Shameful. But yeah, we got Guado Glories taking the win 5-1. We take ours 6-0. And Albert Sykes and Luka Goers tied up 1-1. It's not too bad. And we have 24 goals for Gear Guado. It's pretty good. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And when you come back, we're going to be playing more Blitzball. Till next time.